What a start to the show. What a start to the show. Welcome to the Little Football TV. And yeah, someone wants to join us on the show and she wants to say
Someone who's
hi.
tired. Someone who's exhausted.
Hey,
Doesn't want to
she's
sleep.
very exhausted. She wanted,
Yeah.
she wanted to say
Yeah.
hi. Hello.
Yeah, man.
Welcome again. And yeah, man. Another series of African Cup of Nation clashes. Some were
Mm.
heart stoppers. Some people were nail biting. Their countries almost exited
Yeah.
the competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like, this is why I wanted to cover it specifically because the games were very exciting and they're very close.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, Cameroon kicked off like the third games, obviously. The
Cameroon.
final,
Cameroon. Yeah.
yeah.
So far they look like they look them and Morocco and Nigeria are the standout teams so far.
Mm, mm. No, they look out. I think they're the favorites. Man. I mean, you can't look past them at the moment. They're very
No,
consistent.
you can't. No, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't. They look strong.
Um. True. And our team, our dark horses themselves, Burkina Faso made it through.
Yeah, they made
Mhm.
it through. Those ones, they also decent.
Yeah. So at least from that group, from Group A, it's Cameroon and Burkina Faso, and then obviously from Group B, Senegal qualified, Guinea also qualified, Malawi and Zimbabwe, like they just fell short. But this group, bro, like it was very tight. I could see why you were stressing.
It was
Especially with the
interesting.
point.
Yeah, it was an interesting group. It was very interesting
Mm,
actually. Mm.
mm.
It was.
And you guys, you just made it. Like both Guinea and Malawi were on 4 points,
Yeah.
and then Zimbabwe was on three. So basically, yeah, people would say this was. I think this was the most competitive group out of all of them, to be honest, judging by the point tallies and everything. Aside
Yeah.
from the Group A, I think the Group B was the toughest.
Yeah. It was. It was tough. Yeah. It was tough.
Mm. And yeah, ah, talking about your game, bro, because I wanted to go through your game with you, man. What was happening, man? What's this coach trying to do? Because
No, you see.
the
You see.
Senegal I saw, yeah,
You see. From what I see from the Senegal team,
yeah,
we defensively very sound.
mm-hmm,
It's like we don't concede many goal chances. You know, the teams we play against don't create a lot. And when you wanna play an attacking football, you can't have two holding midfielder
mm-hmm,
and sitting in front of the back four.
yeah,
That's
true.
that way you need to have two defensive midfielder that are offensive minded in a way, you understand.
Yeah,
And the way I see it, he can't find the right number six for himself because he's got many of them. He's got three of them,
mm,
and he's got one boy, the one boy Tottenham signed,
yeah.
and that they loaned him to it at Stoke, and the one boy that's playing for PSG. These two boys are the two midfielders Senegal have right now that can create.
So now, why is he still going with the two? Is he
because be-
unsure?
because he's a defensive minded coach.
Yeah,
That's why Senegal hasn't conceded a goal, because he's a defensive minded coach. I don't mind that. I don't have a problem with that. But when you don't concede goal, you must know you're not gonna score a lot of goals. That's just how it
mm,
is. You have to compromise the defense because you have good defenders, good enough defenders to go 1v1. Until he does that,
so
Senegal won't score a lot
yeah.
of goals. That I can promise you.
Yeah.
Until he goes a little bit more offensive in his approach, we won't
Yeah.
score a lot of goals.
I've noticed because I feel like countries, or should I say national sides, usually like for tournaments, they prefer having these defensive minded coaches because I think they have this thing where they like, these these pragmatic coaches can get you a tournament, can win you a tournament, because
Yeah.
when it comes to tournaments and leagues, they're two different aspects. In tournaments,
No,
you can get away with.
yeah. You know what they say? They said defenders
Yeah,
win you leagues, strikers win you
yeah,
games.
yeah,
But bottom line is you are not in a league. It's not a marathon
yeah,
that you can keep the nil forever, because when you go to the next round, there's penalty shootout. If you
yeah.
go 0-0, you can lose the penalty shootout.
True.
The last tournament, what he did, Senegal scored a lot of goals in the last tournament. He was offensive,
Yeah.
yet Senegal only conceded 2 goals. 2 goals from the champions. Only Algeria scored against Senegal last time out. 2 goals. They went to the final, but he was offensive. I understand he's
Yeah.
missing two offensive players that was very important to the team, but nevertheless, you need to put players that can give you some contribution offensively. And that's what he
Yeah.
doesn't do. You know, that's what he doesn't do. When you get to the second round, you're gonna be more tested.
Yeah.
You're gonna meet better quality teams that have better strikers. That's gonna test you.
Mm.
So therefore, you need to find your way to also test them.
Exactly.
So I think that's our problem right now. Our problem is the offensive part, is the defensive minded of our coach. That's our problem. We don't have any other problem, because we have players that can play in that position. We have.
So you think he's just merely now trying a different, like, the problem is that I have with these coaches sometimes is that if something gets them over the line, and
Yeah.
like basically if the person tries and plays defensive and it gets him over the line, he's gonna stick to it. I don't see him
Yeah,
changing it in
yeah.
the last 15,
You,
and
you
then
know,
and then
the reason why Senegal don't fire him. He hasn't won anything, but he put our nation into the top rank in Africa because of
yeah,
his results.
yeah.
You must know he's a coach that since he took over Senegal, he lost only four
Mm.
games.
That's the thing. That
Four
how
games
you
in like
gonna set someone like that? How you?
four games. It's like 4 games in 4 years or 5 years.
Mm, mm.
So
How
based
you gonna
on that,
set someone for that?
yeah, it's not easy to sack him. But bottom
Mm,
line is he needs to. Senegalese people are they want a title.
yeah.
This is something we've been praying for many years.
Mm,
He has proven that he's a good coach despite his defensive minded, but he needs to take risk, especially when you come
yeah.
to a tournament like AFCON. You played your all 3 games, you scored 1 goal, you didn't concede goal, fine, you qualify.
Yeah.
Now you get to the next round, he needs to step the game up
Mm,
in order to beat Morocco or Algeria, Cameroon. These 3 teams, I'm definitely sure they're going to the semifinals.
mm.
I'm trying to figure out which the fourth team is, which is fourth team is going to join them. But these 3 teams, unless they have hiccups, they're going to go to the semifinals, or at least 2 of them will go to the semifinals, because the football they play so far, it's been convincing. When you see it, you
Yeah.
see they try to win. They're playing to win.
Mm. They've
So
been very, very consistent as well,
they've been
to be honest.
consistent.
Mm.
It's like that. North African teams, Algeria won't win the AFCON this year. Algeria won't qualify even,
Yeah.
because they're not gonna beat Ivory Coast.
Mm.
So it will be a new winner. It will be a new champion.
Hey.
So my my pronostic is either Morocco, Algeria, Morocco, Nigeria, or Cameroon. These three teams,
Yeah.
one of them will win the AFCON. Senegal,
Yeah.
unless they
Yeah.
improve, they're not gonna win this tournament.
Yeah.
Despite all,
Unless he tactically changes, because
he must change. He must change.
mm,
He must change the way he plays, or else we have no chance.
eish,
But we will see. Bottom line is always good to it's always good. There is a room of improvement.
always.
That's the nice
Mm,
thing of it. When you have a team, then you know that can improve. You always have a chance.
eish.
But he needs to find it as ASAP, because the next game is the quarterfinals.
Exactly.
So there's no time.
Mm,
There's no time. But so far, I've been impressed with Morocco and Nigeria and Cameroon. These three teams, they've impressed me.
eh. And then we might also have a shocker, man, especially in that group with Gabon as well, man.
Yeah, Gabon or Sierra Leone. These two,
Yeah.
Gabon and Sierra Leone are the outsiders that I see that can hurt these big teams,
Mm.
because they're not afraid. Do you watch Sierra Leone how they play?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not afraid. They're not afraid to throw bodies forward, and that's
Mm.
in this game, that's very important. If you're not afraid to commit people forward as a team, like when
Yeah.
they attack, they commit people forward, and that's
Mm.
so important in the game. That's what they do best.
And
So
that's gonna always work for him. Yeah.
if they continue to do that, they're gonna surprise big teams. That I know.
Hey.
Gabon also, they like that.
Yeah.
They good teams. They're small
I
teams,
know.
but they decent teams. They're small
Yeah.
nations, but they have decent team.
Hey. Hey, man, they gave Ghana a run for their money, man. Like,
Yeah, it's
Ghana
like that.
didn't expect them. Ghana didn't actually expect them to be um the way, like, Gabon actually, I would say, like, they mostly were more effective in the game against Ghana. Like, they had 3 shots on target. I think Ghana only had 1 the entire game.
Yeah,
And like most of the possession, Ghana had possession, but they didn't necessarily know what to do with it. I think Gabon
yeah.
like knew how to shut them out completely.
Yeah, that's
And at the same time, what do you think of the red card? Because I mean, hey, punches were thrown, and then
no,
somebody got thrown.
that's a red card. You can't go physically on people like that.
You can,
That's a definite red card. I don't
yeah,
blame that. I don't blame the referee for doing that.
yeah.
That's a red card.
No. So, but they can't really put that as an excuse, because even so, it was around the 99 up. It was added time, stoppage time at the time when the red card
Yeah,
was given. So
yeah. No,
they can't really put it because of the red card.
that doesn't affect the game at all.
Hmm.
Doesn't affect the game at all.
And what do you think of the absence of Aubameyang now, because he's
Yeah,
not there?
it's gonna be a big miss for them,
Yeah,
he's the captain, he's the talisman. You know, despite him not scoring yet, he still play a big role in that team, in that dressing room, and I see them struggling without him.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I see them definitely
Um,
struggling.
I was like, I saw Egypt won, but you know, draw.
Egypt is one team that also can, because you must know Egypt and Senegal they have almost the similar thing.
Team. Yeah,
They defensively they're very solid, and they have one player they wanna depend on. And it doesn't work like that. Football, you can't depend on one player.
True.
You can't. They said Messi is the best player in the world. He doesn't need to play in the bad team. When Barca was bad, Messi was struggling. That's just how
Yeah.
it is. Good at Liverpool because they play with players that are good enough.
Yeah. As a good unit.
As a good unit, you understand. So now when you come to a
Yeah.
team, where the quality is not the best, you always struggle. That's how it is.
Yeah.
You always struggle.
Hey.
So that's
And,
that's been our that has been our challenge so far for Senegal and Egypt. Salah and Mane, they
yeah.
always they always come with a glimpse. They have their glimpse, they small glimpse,
Mm,
but to show that they have their quality. But still,
mm,
the people they play around, they're not good enough.
yeah.
It's the same with
And I
Senegal.
think
Yeah,
it's also the mentality of the team, because like you're the star player, then they're like, okay, since you're the star player, we're just gonna pass you the ball and then let you do everything by yourself.
yeah,
You understand? Because I think that's where the problem is with these one man teams, because
yeah,
it's how everything's set up. Like the team is just, they can't do anything without you, basically. If
yeah,
Salah was not there,
yeah.
then
That's
everyone is now confused. They don't even know who's gonna step up. You understand? They don't even know,
yeah.
they can't play as a unit. They're
They
not
don't have
they're not
they
playing
don't have
as
that.
a unit.
That's the thing. They don't have that.
Yeah.
They don't have that.
So I still think the AFCON will be won by a team that is very cohesive as a unit, and
Yeah.
I've always felt.
This and I feel like Cameroon they have what it takes to win it because they play at home, and
Mm,
that's gonna play a big role in the um,
mhm,
in the quest for to win the title, because
true.
Cameroon is like they have players that are decent, and
Yeah.
if you and they have a big team. When it comes to a big team, I'm talking about volume. They big guys, and they intimidate all opponents they play in that way. And playing at home,
Mm,
they don't have Cameroon doesn't have exceptional players. But AFCON is not win by exceptional players. AFCON is win by
yeah.
a unit, a
Yeah.
team. You
Mm,
need to have a team. So that's where I feel like Cameroon has a big chance.
yeah. No,
Mm.
they very well, like they're a good unit. So,
They
and I
are a
saw it
team.
and I even saw it as a in the past AFCON, the last one, right?
Yeah.
The like the way they played in that AFCON, like they haven't really changed
Yeah,
much.
they don't change
Philosophy and
much. They
everything.
don't change much.
Yeah.
Cameroon is always known of having this big number nine and a
Mm,
pocket number nine. That's how they always play. They
mm,
play a typical 4-4-2, and that's how they play. And
yeah.
they always do well when they play that way. So
Yeah. And
so I I actually think they're gonna be the team to beat. The
yeah.
Morocco and Nigeria has a say, obviously, but still I feel like Cameroon is gonna be a tough team to beat.
Mm.
Mm.
I mean, even Vincent Abubakar, like
Yeah,
I think isn't he top goal scorer now? I think he should
yeah,
be
he's
top
got
goal scorer.
he's got 5 goals.
Yeah.
He's got five
I
goals.
mean, he's hey, and what's worse for the other teams is that this guy is very experienced. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah, he's got
And
experience.
so, I mean, he's a very hard man to deal with. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? He's always been consistent. He's consistent since this tournament, even the last tournament. He was very consistent,
He's consistent.
and apparently teams want him around Europe as well now. His performances are lighting up. Have like gathered interest from other teams.
Yeah,
So
I didn't know why he went to smaller leagues, because I felt like
yeah,
he can still play in top leagues. I don't know why he went to those leagues, but it's you know, sometimes players choose to do certain things because of money.
yeah,
But
no, it's a short career, man.
yeah, it's got good money there, but bottom line is
Yeah,
he can still do the job in Europe. So
yeah, yeah. I just felt he went too early there.
yeah, he went
Yeah.
too early. He went too early.
Yeah, man. But otherwise, besides that, man, hey, I wonder who you guys are gonna get in the last, because I can't wait for the draw when it actually comes.
I don't even know how do they do the draw. I didn't even see how they do the draw again.
Uh, yeah, it's not gonna be. I don't think it's confirmed on how which team is gonna face which, and sort of that thing. They haven't confirmed it yet. So
Yeah,
I'm
they haven't.
thinking. I
I
think
think
it's
they.
gonna be a random draw. So it's
Yeah,
I
it should
think
be. It should be a random draw. The teams that finish first don't meet.
yeah,
I think that the first will meet second, and we're gonna mix it with some second meeting third or something like that. Best third, something like that. But the first teams that finish
absolutely.
first won't meet. They won't meet each other.
Yeah,
I don't think it's they good. They can meet each other in semifinal, but not in the quarterfinals. I think that's how they're gonna do it.
yeah. I think it's yeah. I think it's a first versus second, obviously in the group.
Yeah,
The teams that finish second, they're gonna meet the first teams in the other group. So you guys did well by finishing first, so it means you're gonna avoid
yeah.
a
It's
lot of
good
teams.
we avoid Cameroon and Morocco
Yeah,
and Nigeria. I think those three teams
Nigeria.
we need to avoid them.
Yeah.
Because those three teams they can take us away out very early.
Hey, yeah, it's very tricky.
Mm.
What would you guys say if you get Egypt, because Egypt is finishing second
No, Egypt.
in group G.
You see, when Senegal meets Egypt, Senegal can beat Egypt. Egypt can beat Senegal.
Senegal. Yeah.
Because I feel like Egypt with Salah, there's always a chance that he would score a goal. And the way we're playing right now, it's, I don't know. Defensively, we look strong, but still, Salah is a quality player. He's a player that can always make a difference.
Oh.
Yeah, Salah is a player that can always make a difference. But
Yeah.
I- I'm hoping for a better opponent, like a weaker opponent than Egypt, because Egypt is still dangerous, despite
Yeah.
having having struggling also, but they can be always dangerous.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
So who would you say would prefer between
Huh?
Mali or Tunisia to qualify? Because both of them are there's a big chance that one of them um
I
might not
think
make it.
yeah, I think Mali will beat Tunisia.
Yeah.
Mali is a stronger outfit. This
Mm.
Tunisia is a team that's always good, but I still think Mali has more luggage than
Yeah.
Tunisia. Mali has more than Tunisia, but it's always up to the way they perform on the day, you know.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
some teams perform better when they meet bigger opponents. You understand?
Yeah.
Than others. So hopefully hopefully Mali can raise their games, but Tunisia also has they're scoring goals, which is good. because as long as you have you score goals, you have a chance to win the game.
You always have a chance. Yeah.
When you score goals, you have a chance to win a football game. When you don't score goals, that's where you struggle.
Yeah.
And that's where my national team is struggling. But I think as long as they can keep the nil, they also have a chance. You understand?
Yeah.
The worst
Absolutely.
part is if Senegal could if Senegal wasn't scoring and wasn't defending well, then I'll be very good. But
Yeah.
right now I think we must just change the way we play.
Yeah.
As long as we
No,
change the
something has to be done.
if we change the way we play, we always have a chance.
Hey.
But I think it's something we will have to see in the coming days.
Mm. All right. Definitely, definitely. But in your opinion, do you think he's ever gonna
Huh?
change it? Because I've always said that managers usually when they get away with something, they don't realize that it's wrong if they got away with it, but they only realize it is wrong when they don't get away with it. So I
Yeah,
still
yeah,
think your manager is still gonna play the exact same way um, in the next round. I
yeah,
honestly don't see him changing.
yeah.
Um,
No, but it's gonna be very interesting to see the draw. I think the draw will decide a lot. The draw will decide which teams, because sometimes you can win the AFCON because you're very fortunate with the draw.
mm,
You
mm,
understand? But sometimes you when you have a good team, you don't mind the draw.
yeah,
Like I feel like Morocco, for example, right now they don't worry. Whoever they draw, they can challenge. They can give you a game.
yeah,
Even if they had to meet, even if they had to meet Cameroon, they will give Cameroon a game. That's
yeah,
just how I feel. But it will be exciting to see. It
mm,
will be very exciting to see.
yeah. No, I'm honestly, I can't wait for the last 16, honestly, because especially when Morocco, Nigeria, and all these teams they meet each other, and I think the semi-finals will be when a lot of these teams meet each other. I think that's when
Yeah,
it will be survival of the fittest. You
when
understand?
we get to the
So
semifinals,
yeah, survival of the
you will definitely know
fittest.
who's gonna win. I think when we get to
Yeah,
the semifinal will decide the winning team.
yeah, that's what I think. I think that's when we'll know who's who.
The semifinal will definitely give you an idea about the team that's gonna win it.
Hey, and yeah, obviously, I think player of the tournament so far has to be him. Ethan Abuja.
Player of
It
the
has to be
tournament.
him so
I'm
far.
I haven't, to be honest, I haven't seen a player despite Abubakar that has taken this AFCON into his hand. I haven't
Yeah,
seen that, honestly, because if you watch if you watch previously the AFCON, and
yeah,
you watch the AFCON, when AFCON was really AFCON, when you would see
yeah.
JJ Okocha here,
Hey,
you would see
it
your
was a
Stephen
good one.
Pina, those players. We don't have
Yeah.
those players nowadays. Those midfielders that will just make a difference.
Mm,
We
mm,
use, Africa used to have those players that you see, you watch play, you like, it's amazing to watch them play.
mm.
I don't see those players anymore.
Hey, but you
So
know why?
so
You know why?
so now it all ended up being like a number nine, Abubakar, player of this tournament,
Mm,
top scorer, all these things.
mm.
And in my point of view, that's boring, man.
Yeah,
Because
it's actually boring
For me,
when you're forward.
player of the tournament must be a number 10. A holding midfielder. Those people, those type of things.
Yeah.
Not a number 9. Number 9 top
Like,
scorer. Yeah, okay. Player of the tournament, midfielder, defender. You know.
yeah, man. But unfortunately, we're going through a dry spell as Africa, as African talent, because our talent always gets taken away from us these days at a rapid rate. So
No,
a lot of
but it's
players end
true.
up,
Yeah, Africa,
yeah.
we don't have the olden days African players. We used to have. Those Africa is known because of the flair. Africa is known because of the flair we have. But by the look of it, it's not. We don't see that flair anymore. It's like it's gone.
Mm, mm.
We don't have that flair we used to have. It's like now we have players that's just they are just okay.
Yeah, they're okay. They're not
They,
really. Yeah.
when you watch the World Cup, the last World Cup, non-African teams went to the next round. That told you everything.
Mm.
We don't have any team that went to the next round, and
Yeah,
that
that was actually shocking. I was shocked. I was like, what happened to us now?
no, that we not. It's all up to the development. The way we develop players. It's like we don't teach them the right thing. We just it's like we just play. We just go with the routine of
Yeah.
playing football. You know, when you when you
Would you
see
say?
when we see a
Would you
talent,
say? Yeah, yeah,
when you see a talent, you people must invest in that. Invest in
mm,
making that talent improve. You understand? But that's what we don't
yeah,
do. We don't improve our talents we have in Africa. That's why we don't have your Jejo Okosha anymore. We don't have your Amokashi, Amunike. We don't have those players. Fadiga, El Hajiju. We used to have those type of players that can make a difference from a blink of an eye. But right now, no, I'm not impressed about how African football looks like now. Right now, seriously.
but it's politics play a factor in this as well.
Yeah, it
let's
does.
not rule that out,
Oh, it's
because how it is. They like you'll find that there is players who are very skillful, but then they don't want these kind of players anymore. You understand? They want players maybe who are, I'd say, players who are more direct. You understand? Whereas the skillful players, they'll be like, okay, he's a skillful player, but we don't want him because he's not direct enough. They want someone who already has certain, I'd say, who looks more European, would be able to play in European. Whereas they would not develop a skillful player. If there's a skillful player like a coach, or you still you're on mute. You're on mute, my brother. You can't hear us. Yeah, like obviously you're on mute. Can you hear me? You're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Oh yes. Yeah, like I was trying to say that like your
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I can hear you though.
I cannot hear you. Huh?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Call me again. Call me again.
Okay. Let me do this quickly. I'll have him back just now, guys. Relax. I'll have him back just now. Uh, ah, let me see if I can get him back. Let's hope I can get him back. Let's hope I can get him back. Uh, yeah, like we were. He'll join us back now. Just now. We're discussing the African talent. With regards to African talent and why. In terms of why did the quality of players go down? That's the problem we're facing right now as Africans. And yeah, like it's a pandemic, guys. Like, you know, like what happened to us producing talent such as JJ Okocha, um, all these guys who are good, your Yaya Torres, them, oh, he just sent me a message now. I want to see if I can try and get him back in again. Okay. Um, yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back. He'll be back. Yeah. We're just going through the African Cup of Nations, second games and third games. As you guys know, the some of the third games took place. Match day 3. Some of them took place yesterday, and we've still got more today. Ghana is in trouble. Ghana have to win today, and that's why I can't wait for this game. It starts at 9. In fact, it has already started right now because we're already at 9 o'clock right now. Gabon and Morocco is very crucial as well. Um, Morocco are on 2, have won 2 games out of 2. Have won 2 games in 2 matches. You understand? So they pretty much through. Um, but then obviously they're gonna try and assure their place in trying to beat Gabon tonight. And interesting fixtures. And those are the two games playing tonight, or currently right now playing. I'm not sure of the scores. I can check the scores for you guys right now. Ghana's in trouble. Ghana's already 1-0 down. Ghana's already 1-0 down, and they have to win this game. They have to win this game. If they don't win it, we could see an upset. They could be out in the group stages. So, this is very difficult. Gabon and Morocco are still 0-0. If Gabon can keep it at 0-0 and Ghana lose, and even if Ghana draws and Gabon draws, Gabon goes through with Morocco. So that Ghana could be the first huge casualty in the African Cup of Nations, and a huge one. Nobody expected this, because from this group, every one of us were like, it's Gabon and then it's Morocco and Ghana who are going through. You understand? So this is going to be a real shocker for Ghana if they don't make it through. Both matches are on the 10th minute right now. It's not really looking good. And so far, Ghana have obviously the more position. They've been trying to attack. But Comoros have been they've been stubborn at the back. So, yeah, man, I think it's just a problem now. Oh, we could see a very very big shock in Group C. Group C is a very tight group. So as I was discussing with Mame, Group C is very very tough. A lot of people will probably bet on Ghana. A lot of people are gonna lose their houses tonight. If Ghana goes out, a lot of people are losing their houses because that's why I say this tournament is gonna be very unpredictable because you've got your Ghana who's now about to be kicked out of the tournament. I mean, how many people would have predicted that? Zero. Out of that group, it's Gabon and so far who are going through, it's Gabon and Morocco. So obviously, beginning of the show, we already stated that Cameroon and Burkina Faso are the two top teams that qualified in Group A. And then Group B, Senegal and Guinea qualified as well. So right now, the fate of Group C is will be decided right now. Obviously, later on tonight when the matches conclude, and it's tough, guys. It's really, really, really tough, and I'm excited. I'm actually excited of the AFCON. You understand? The AFCON this year, I'd say it's actually the most competitive it has been in the longest time. Usually, even the last one, you could only pick 2 or 3 teams that you knew that was going to win it. Now there's like 4 or 5. There's like two dark horses, in one tournament. So I'm fairly enjoying it. I didn't enjoy the last one because it was almost relatively easy to say who's gonna win, and Cameroon did win, and I did actually speak to someone and say Cameroon was gonna win it. So um it is what it is, guys. But yeah, man, I'm enjoying the AFCON. We enjoying the AFCON, and we having our conversation. My conversations with Mamene Young, it was like obviously, with the Senegal team, I always wanted his views on the Senegal because Senegal have really disappointed me in this tournament. They actually don't look like themselves. I feel like their coach has been very pragmatic, had a pragmatic approach to a lot of games, and that has resulted to them only scoring 1 goal the entire tournament so far, which is not good. But at the same time, they have a good defensive record. But if they want to go through to the finals, they'll have to improve on their goal scoring record because you cannot win a tournament scoring 1 goal in 2 games. Averaging a goal in 2 games, you can't. You understand? So they need to find a way to, play better football than the coach needs to change something. And it needs to change it sooner than later. Otherwise, they're out of this tournament. Other teams are very ruthless in front of goal. Even if Senegal maybe defend, but you also have to give your chance. You have to also give yourselves a chance to defend, to score goals. Obviously, you have to score goals. There's no other way. You cannot win football matches without scoring goals. Yes, you defend well, which can get you an extra time and penalty shootout. But you can't win every game with penalty shootout. I've never seen a team win a game in the last 16 quarterfinals, semifinal, and final consecutively through penalties. So you need to sort yourself out. You need to still find a way to score goals, whether you try and be defensive or not. They need to find a way. And I've always been against pragmatic approaches. Like, I feel like a pragmatic approaches should be for certain games, like for a few games during the last 16. Maybe you can pick between your quarterfinal or your finals, but you can't play every game in the last 16 and with a pragmatic approach. You will not be successful. That is why coaches like Antonio Conte find it hard to win cup competitions, because cup competitions, you have to have games where you go for it. You have to have games where you go for it. You can't just be defending the entire time. People say, will allude to Greece, but Greece could score goals. Greece played on the counter-attack. They could score goals. They could close games. You understand? So it's not like they scored 1 goal and then they just defended the rest of the tournament. They had to literally score goals to win games, just like how they beat Portugal in the 2004 World Euros. They scored, didn't they? They won the game within 90 minutes. So people need to understand that that's how you win football tournaments. I don't know if Mame will come back, but those who are only joining in now, we were covering we obviously concluded Group A. Group B has been concluded. All 3 games have been played. We're now looking at Group C, which is currently being decided. So far as it stands, Ghana is going out. They're gonna finish last, and Gabon and Morocco look like they're gonna be the 2 top teams of Group C. So Ghana being the first casual of the big guys who are going out. This AFCON is very, very, very unpredictable. Whoever's betting on this, good luck to you guys who are betting on this, but it's gonna shock you. The winner's gonna shock you. I have to say, Cameroon looked too good, which worries me. They look way too good, too early. So, but then they're one of the favorites. But there will be a team that springs a surprise on them, because that's the thing with tournaments. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And like it's really that deep. But so far, like I said, the tournament will shape itself out after 2 games. 2 matches have already been played in all groups. It's just Group A and Group B who have concluded the tournament. And Group C is about to conclude it tonight. And tomorrow, obviously, the fixtures that are waiting for you guys, it's the likes of Nigeria versus Guinea, Egypt versus Sudan, Sierra Leone versus Equatorial Guinea, Ivory Cote d'Ivoire versus Algeria, Gambia versus Tunisia, Mali versus those are only there's only a few games left till the group stages are concluded completely. So I'm just looking forward to this, man. I'm just looking forward to the last 16, because there's gonna be a lot of big fixtures, especially coming to quarterfinals. There's gonna be a huge amount of fixtures in the quarterfinals. There's gonna be big games, like Wafa Wafa, basically in the semi-final of the AFCON. It's Wafa Wafa for like, there is no way the team that wins it this season, or this year, should I say, is well deserved. Because the games that you have to go through to win the AFCON this year, they prove that understand. There's no easy games. There's absolutely no easy games for any team. So there's no one who's gonna say, "Oh, we're gonna get an easy fixture." You're not getting an easy fixture after the quarterfinal. You're not getting an easy fixture. So it's gonna be peak, man. It's gonna be peak. I'm fairly enjoying it, man. As a South African, I'm stress-free because I don't have to stress. South Africa, Bafana haven't really they haven't qualified for it yet again. So, I'm a neutral. And from a neutral perspective, the tournament is exciting. It's very much exciting. There's, and I'm just hoping to see who's gonna win it now. That's all I'm excited about. I'm not nail biting. Mame is probably nail biting himself and having a little bit of sleepless nights with Senegal. But for a change, I'm happy, because as a South African, I'm just a neutral. I'm just watching. I'm just enjoying the fireworks outside. So I don't know, man. But I think our guy won't be able to come back. But otherwise, guys, thanks again. Thanks a million for joining us for another episode of the African AFCON wrap-up show. This was the second episode. and we'll obviously have the third episode next week. So I hope you guys have one lovely week. Obviously, I'll be back during the week. I think I'll be back on Thursday. I'll be doing a show with Boogerman TV, Mr. Tembela Mandela. And then I'm not sure, tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. I'll be doing a show tomorrow with him, and we'll be looking at club football, and covering the latest news that are coming out, because there's a lot to cover. There's a lot of news that I haven't covered. And yeah, man, you guys have a lovely evening. Thanks again to Mameni Young. Thanks to him again for coming to the show. He has a very, very busy schedule, but he still found a way to come and join me and for us to discuss this football matters. And there's a lot I feel like him and I, we need to talk about, and especially that covers the real problem with African talents today. With it, why there is a huge reduction in quality in African talent. And we're still gonna cover that properly with him, Mameni Young. And I thank him for joining me again. Episode 3 next week. Check us again on the AFCON wrap-up show. And yeah, this is Leso TV, and I hope you guys have a lovely evening.
Happy to be back home after 12 years.
Good game, a really good game.
Like I said to Martinelli.
Hello, Antonio. Nice to see you again.
Hello, good afternoon.
It's gone through Laporte. Rodri!
Dieser Lewandowski-Auftritt sorgt für Wirbel.
Looks like you lost another one.